September is here again to slap you in the face with the biggest games of the year, and this time around it's absolutely jam-packed, from the AAA to the free-to-play and the hidden gems along the way. Let's go through the best of them. Today's video is sponsored by Konami and Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which I've been playing and will tell you about very soon. Hello there, I'm Adam, let's do this. September sees the return of Borderlands. Borderlands 4 takes the iconic cel-shaded looter shooter and layers new mechanics and quality of life updates alongside a new story that will continue the overarching narrative seen in the previous games. Every aspect of the gameplay has been iterated upon, like traversal. We now have a grappling hook to utilise, as well as double jumps and abilities to climb, glide and even swim. That said, the main draw of Borderlands has always been its weapon variety and the weird and wonderful things they do, like walking guns and talking guns and exploding banana bombs. This time, Borderlands 4 introduces licensed parts between weapon manufacturers, which means we can effectively combine all the best parts of all the guns we love to create our perfect arsenal. Like usual, we'll be playing as one of the 4 new Vault Hunters, each with their own devastating abilities and backstory, and we can do this alone or squad up in a group of 4 online, or do it old school, split screen on your couch. Borderlands 4 hits PS5, Xbox Series and PC on September 12th, with the Switch 2 version coming in October. Arriving much sooner is the return of Metal Gear Solid, and a game legitimately in my top 5 of all time. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater brings the iconic PS2 game up to current gen standards using Unreal Engine 5, and once again sends us behind enemy lines to track down our mentor who has defected to the opposition. Gameplay stays faithful to the original as we stealth our way through an army of soldiers starting out in the jungle, or we can go in guns blazing if that suits your playstyle better. And Snake is also a master of close quarters combat too. We can do this in a legacy style where the camera, HUD and controls all feel like they did in the old days, or a new modern approach which is all about using 2025 standards. The most impressive aspect to me is the battle damage system, as every bullet we take or injury we endure needs to be patched up in the field, leaving behind permanent scars, so essentially everyone's snake will be unique. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater comes to PS5, Xbox Series and PC on August 28th. And personally, I can't get enough of the Snake vs Monkey mode. Gotcha! After years of waiting, Hollow Knight Silksong finally has a release date of September 4th. Team Cherry's Hollow Knight sequel has been in the works since 2019. The 2D Metroidvania with a cult following brings forward Hornet as our playable character, a princess in a fallen kingdom who breaks free from her imprisonment and explores the subterranean catacombs. Hornet is a hunter and will face countless enemies, which will be increasingly challenging as she finds new abilities which unlock new areas. And Silksong is bigger than the original Hollow Knight, which took on average over 80 hours to see and do everything the game had to offer, as a staggering amount of content is completely optional and sometimes hidden away. Hollow Knight Silksong is releasing on everything: the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series, the Switch 1, Switch 2, and of course the PC on September 4th. A game that was pushed back to September is Dying Light the Beast. Kyle Crane returns from the very first game, and it's revealed he was captured and tested upon for the last 13 years, and now he wants his revenge. Dying Light is best described as a parkour survival horror game, as we freely roam the open world, which is littered with the zombie hordes, and venturing out after sunset is extremely dangerous as those undead minions are more aggressive and hostile at night. Luckily, or rather unluckily, Kyle is now part human and part zombie thanks to the merging of DNA, which unlocks a new set of skills to utilize, your inner beast. And controlling that zombie DNA will be crucial as we make human alliances to track down the evil scientists that did those experimentations on you. Dying Light the Beast comes to PS5, Xbox Series and PC on September 19th, with a last-gen PS4 version coming later in the year. If you're looking for a more traditional survival horror outing, then look out for Silent Hill F. This time, Silent Hill is going back to the 1960s and Japan, as all of a sudden, a fog engulfs the town. Hinako is our hero, a high schooler who must navigate the twisted paths of Ebesagoka, sorry if I mispronounced that, solving puzzles as her hometown transforms into a nightmare, confronting grotesque monsters to survive. Combat takes its basics from the Silent Hill 2 remake last year, with melee weapons being picked up while we explore, like a pipe. Yet there's more depth here in F. We have a much more robust dodge this time around, and those with good timing can counter attacks. Bosses in Silent Hill F are said to be much more challenging than in previous games, with a lot of trial and error, as understanding their attack patterns is important. It looks absolutely petrifying to me. Silent Hill F launches on PS5, Xbox Series and PC on September 25th. Okie dokie, if your wallet is taking too much of a kicking this month and you want a free-to-play game, I've got two to talk to you about this time. Remember when we looked at Skate last month, the skateboarding arcade sim that will be a free-to-play game as a service? Well, we will finally learn the release date on Tuesday, August 26th. That's tomorrow if you're watching this when I release it. And as usual, I'll leave a comment below when that date is 100% confirmed. Since the last time we spoke, more info has come up, including how many players can fit in one server, and it's 150. We were also shown how music works in the game, and over 100 songs will be there on release, and we simply just click on our headphone icon to start playing our soundtrack while we're skating around. There isn't any moving footage of this next bit, but we find stereos and boomboxes in the open world and interact with them to add that track to our collection. I love that touch. We know some of the artists who'll be performing, and one of those is Earth, Wind & Fire. Skate will be a live surface game in the open city of San Vansterdam, fully explorable on your board and also on foot, with a little climbing to get to those out of reach places. I plan to make a full breakdown of Skate a little closer to the release date. Coming on September 2nd is the biggest ever update seen in World of Tanks. I'm sure you've heard about it over the last 15 years, the Armoured Warfare game. And this update is so monumental, they're calling it World of Tanks 2.0. Everything has been revamped, from a new interface and garage, a new map is being introduced, a new matchmaker, rebalancing online, and other things definitely worth your attention, like story missions building into a campaign, something not really seen in World of Tanks, and even random events in-game to make things more dynamic, like a battle can take place in a train yard with locomotives steaming past, creating dynamic cover and potential carnage. This is the first step of Wargaming's attempt to modernise the franchise, leading to a new game coming soon, which will be like a tank hero shooter. It's called World of Tanks Heat, a free-to-play PvP vehicle shooter with superhero abilities that combine with your teammates. In that one, we pilot a customizable tank and unleash our abilities in a 10v10 online battle. So it's combining tactical armored warfare with first-person shooter style intensity. So yeah, World of Tanks 2.0 is definitely the beginning of a huge shift. Will you be part of it? Okay, back to priced games now, and a little gem that will be equally hilarious and frustrating. Have you seen Baby Steps? A game that forces us out of our parents' basement and into the open world. Yet wait a second, as this is a coordination game, and simply putting one foot in front of the other is a chore at first. It takes a lot of concentration. When it finally clicks, the tasks become harder and harder. But there's no death or game over screen here. Instead, when Nate falls down, he picks himself up and starts again. Even if that meant you slid all the way to the bottom of a hill, you just start all over again. A super simple premise that is brought to life by the weird and incredibly awkward people you meet on the way. Baby Steps hits PS5 and PC on September 8th. September also sees the return of Sonic in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, a kart racer starring the Blue Blur. And here's the gimmick, we have crossover characters from other franchises, like Steve from Minecraft, and SpongeBob's here, and Patrick too, and even Hatsune Miku. Plus, more crossover characters will be announced, so I guess Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is living up to its name. On the track, it's a standard kart racer with power-ups and speed traps, yet we can drive through rings into other dimensions mid-race, and when we return back to the track again, it's changed, keeping drivers on their toes. With 12-player online races, 24 tracks at launch, 15 crossover worlds to venture into, and 23 characters on day one. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds comes to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, the Switch, and the PC on September 25th. back to the crazy amount of horror games this month, and it's Cronos: The New Dawn, a third-person action survival game which is quickest described as Resident Evil meets Dead Space. Coming from Bloober Team, who put out the sublime Silent Hill 2 last year, we play as a lone protagonist known as the Traveller. The uneasy feeling is amplified by a great mechanic that sees defeated enemies reanimate, merge, and reform into tougher creatures. And to stop that, we have to dispose of everybody correctly. We also have the ability to travel through time and even reverse it in front of our eyes. Doing this in the right place can unveil new areas, but simultaneously, new enemies will also be unleashed. Cronos: The New Dawn hits PS5, Xbox Series PC, and Switch 2 on September 5th. I think that's enough games for 1 month, so like usual, I owe you a bunch of dad jokes as a thank you. Like this one. I used to think I had a Chinese friend, but it was just my imagination. My imagination. Do you know why bees hum when they're flying? It's because they forgot the words. Yep, it's a classic, sorry. I was attacked by 6 dwarves last night. Oh, not happy. Why do ants never get unwell? Because of their tiny antibodies. Antibodies. It's always a play on words. I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure. See ya.